Okay, the first basic technique I'm going to show you is the punch. Now everyone's thinking this is very basic, and yes, it is very basic, but there's a lot of things you have to make sure. The little details make the biggest difference when you're doing your competition form. Now the first thing we're going to do, I'm going to do my front punch, or my back punch in a front stance. Now the front stance, you want your toes pointed forward. It varies from style to style, but I like this kind of stance, not too deep, that's too traditional. We're doing open combination, open forms. You want to stand upright, and you want your shoulders square for now. Now from here, when I punch, I'm going to punch straight out. Now if you look from the side, my hand is parallel to the ground. You don't want to punch too high, and you don't want to punch too low. There's things called lines, and these are straight lines. Now you want to make a straight line that's level with the ground, all right? That's the first thing. That's very important. Make sure you have the straight line here. The second thing you want to make sure is your hand. You don't want to be punching like this. If you were to punch a wall like that, you'd break your hand. Same, it goes like this. You want to make sure your hand is straight. I see a lot of people punching like this, and although they're moving fast, you can still notice that when they're punched like this, it does not look correct, nor is it a straight line. But if you bring it down, it becomes a straight line. That's the number two. The third thing you guys want to make sure you do is your chamber hand. When you punch, your chamber hand should be chambered nice and straight. You don't want to over-chamber your hand and have it turned like this. When it's like this, once again, it's not a straight line. You want to make a straight line just like that when you punch. Now the final thing you want to make sure you do is your elbow position before the punch. It's the punch prep, is what I call it. When punching, sometimes I see people lift their elbow up first and then punch. First of all, it doesn't make a straight line, and it takes longer for the punch to reach the ending point. That takes more time, and it makes your technique look slower. From here, if you slide your elbow against your body the entire time, do it at this angle, it stays in a straight line, and from point A to point B, it's a straight line. That's the quickest way, that's the quickest distance between 2 points. And so you want to make sure you go from point A straight to point B. And notice my chamber hand is straight, not over, not too less. Now I'm going to use, a good drill to use is a wall. But out here we have no walls. So to improvise, if you're ever working out in a park or there's no walls, you can use a person. The next best thing we have here is Mr. Daniel Sterling. Everyone give a hand. Okay, Daniel's going to be my artificial wall. Now what he's going to do is he's going to stand there, and I'm going to use his back as my wall. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stand next to him, get ready for my punch. Now when I punch, I want to make sure my elbow does not touch him. If it does touch him, it's going to also hurt him, and if you have an actual brick wall, it's going to hurt you a lot. Now you want to make sure when you punch out straight, so you don't hit him. Your elbow should graze against your body the entire time, and then lock out. Thank you, Daniel Sterling.